Shalom. Our verse today is Mark chapter 12 verse 44. For they have all put money they could spare, but she in her poverty has put in everything she possessed, all she had to live on. This verse concludes the story of the widow who donated to the temple's treasury in the time of Jesus. In one of his visits to the temple, Jesus sat opposite the treasury and observed how people were making offerings. He took particular interest in a widow and compared her to others who dropped money into the treasury. Having made his observations, Jesus called his disciples and informed them that the poor widow has put more in than all who have contributed to the treasury. The reason for Jesus' statement is found in our verse for the day. For they have all put in money they could spare, but she in her poverty has put in everything she possessed, all she had to live on. The widow's action has led to the famous statement, widow's mite. The widow's mite is a small monetary contribution from someone who is poor. Unfortunately, even rich people often refer to their contributions as widow's mite. Let us x-ray the action of this poor widow. First, she was a widow. Second, she was poor. And third, she gave all she had to live on. By doing so, she puts herself in a precarious situation of not knowing where her next means of sustenance will come. It is all she had to live on, everything she possessed that she offered. Let me ask you, when you make donations and refer to it as widow's mite, do you mean you have given all you possess, the resources you have to live on? If you have $1,000 and you offer part of it, like $100 for instance, as contribution to the work of God or to charity, that is not widow's mite. Widow's mite will imply offering all the $1,000 and staying without a dime in your possession. If you have ₦1,000,000 and offer only a part of it, you have offered from the abundance you have. Do not ever refer to it as widow's mite. A widow's mite will imply giving away your ₦1,000,000. The action of this poor widow teaches us the virtue of trust in divine providence. How far would her 2 coins have taken her? Maybe a day or two. Compare this with how far God's providence can take you. She was smart to realize that only God can take her beyond her 2 coins. Therefore, she entrusted her future into the able hands of God. In whom do you put your trust then? She put her trust in God. God spoke through Jeremiah saying, "Accursed be anyone who trusts in human beings, who relies on human strength." Jeremiah 17:5. We may also add, "Accursed is anyone who relies on his material wealth." The prophet further states, "Blessed is anyone who trusts in Adonai, with Adonai for his reliance. He is like a tree by the waterside, untroubled in year of drought. It never stops bearing fruit." Jeremiah 17:7-8. Do you remember the story of the widow who trusted God and approached Prophet Elisha for help in 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1-7? God gave a miracle and her flask of oil was increased until all the jars in her house were filled. What of the widow of Zarephath? She took care of Elijah in 1 Kings 17:7-16, and her little flour and oil did not run dry until the famine was over. God is indeed the defender of the widows. He alone can lift up the lowly from the dust and make them sit with rulers and princes. See Psalm 113 verse 7-9. May God lift you from your shame. May He never let your cup run dry. May He give you a heart to trust Him, and may He grant you a generous heart. Amen.